right, so we've got the two cars side by side, the Highland Model 3 and the previous Model 3. Both of them are rear-wheel drive. Both of them are made in Shanghai in China, and they're first delivered here in the Netherlands about 2 months ago. So welcome back to Dutchman Seb. Today we have two cars side by side. This is my personal 2023 March delivered rear-wheel drive Model 3, and this is the October delivered 2023 Model 3 Highland model. The model year is actually 2024, so they released the models the year before, but it's a 2024 Model 3. So this is the new look you can see on the front. New headlights, you can see the new design compared to this one over here, which is more of like a rounded shape. Here you have a way more defined, like really slim curve, way more aggressive front look. You can see here the fog lights on the Model 3 are actually no longer on the bumper here either, so from that car the fog lights are missing. So really nice to see the comparison there. Below the lip here you can see where the license plate is. It looks the same. I dare say that the opening is slightly reduced compared to that one there. I think there I can count like 4 grills, and here I can count 3 grills. So that's actually slightly reduced, the amount of airflow going in the bumper there as well. Ride height looks about to be the same. So you've got the two cars sitting more or less the same. They're both on 18-inch wheels. You'll notice here this is the new 18-inch wheel design. I've actually removed the aero caps off of mine, so this is what it looks like behind the 18-inch aero caps on the standard Model 3s. So I'm actually going to remove this one for you here to see. That's quite difficult sometimes to remove these. They're quite stubborn to come off with one hand. All right, there we go. So there's the aero cap removed, and there you can see the new wheel design. So in comparison with this, it's still like a twin spoke, but the twin spokes are slightly different. They have more like wider area here, so that's gonna look quite nice, I reckon, when you do what I've done with the center cap and the wheel nuts in comparison with what you have here. The design looks like a graphite gray compared to this color. This is more like a gun metal gray, whereas this is more of like a black, graphite black color. You've got the new tires from Michelin, E-Primacy. I'm not sure what the size is. Okay, there are 235s, 45 R18 wheels, and you've still got the same Tesla brake caliper engraved with the logo on there. You've got a whole new setup on the suspension, so the car feels a bit better. I really like these new aero cap designs though. They're much different to the original ones. So you can see there what the wheel looks like without those aero caps. Quite a nice wheel actually, to be honest. I prefer them without the aero caps. Put them on again, you just pop them on again, and then there you go. That's the aero caps. The cameras on the side here, side repeater cameras, look about the same compared to this. I don't know if the quality is different or if it's hardware 4. I will check on the computer for you there, but those look about the same. I noticed a slight different design with the LED indicator here. This one has a bit of a strip design. Moving towards the back here, the side mirrors are the same. Let me just open this one for you so you can compare. The side mirrors look the same, door handles are the same. The only differences here is you've got a comparison side by side. The previous model has the double pane glass, so does the new one. The only difference is in the rear, where you have single pane glass in the rear on the previous model compared to the new model, which also has double pane glass. So now you've got double laminated glass in the rear, where the previous model only has single laminated. So it makes a big difference actually to the car when it comes to sound insulation. So I'll do a side-by-side comparison driving the vehicles. Your side repeater cameras here are the same, both in the B pillars. Coming to the rear, you've got the same charge port, CCS connector in Europe. I imagine you'll get the NSES in North America, of course. And then looking at the rear, you've got a totally new, different rear tail light with a new Tesla logo being removed with with lettering. So Tesla lettering in place of the old logo. So you'll see in comparison to my car has the logo, and the tail lights here being divided by the trunk when you open that, as compared with this one where the tail lights are actually integrated into the trunk as one whole piece. Boot space, you actually get in Europe the mobile charger. You also get the Type 2 Manicus cable in Europe. These come free, included in the car. In other countries, I noticed on the website that you don't have those included. You get a roadside assistance bag as well. They've added this extra space in the side here. So compared to my trunk, I don't have a space here on the side. So that's additional space. On the left here, however, I do have space. It's nice to put like water bottles and things for your dogs. If you're going out walking and you want to stick like some bottles in the back there, it's quite a lot of space. So if you compare it here, now on the right hand side, you have these deep pockets on the side as well as on the left hand side. So that's one big difference from the two cars. You've still got the emergency release hatches here on the old vehicles, as well as here the emergency release for the trunk on this car. The trunk space down here is still quite large. Normally I chuck my charging cables in here, so you're comparing it with my old model, my old cables and everything goes back there. A lot of space. The rubber mats, weatherproof mats, will definitely fit in this car as well. So I imagine all the accessories will still be available. You don't have any buttons like you do in the Model Y to drop the seats. I have noticed here they've got like these blank covers in the rear wheel drive model where the speakers are normally installed in the long range with the premium system. So your long range models don't have the rear speakers here in the trunk. So another long range model, the rear wheel drive model. Same with my car, I don't have the premium speakers here. However, mine don't have the cutouts where you can actually do aftermarket fitments at the back here, whereas the new one does actually have cutouts where you can remove this cloth fabric here and install aftermarket speakers here if you wish. So that's something different. The design here at the back is definitely different, and the opening of the trunk is the same. The only difference here is that they've put a cloth carpet material, whereas mine has more of like a hard plasticky design. And here you've also got a release hatch for the trunk, and here as well a release hatch for the trunk. Sorry, this is the emergency release for the charging, not for the trunk. Right, so still power tailgate, same like the old model, power tailgate. The big difference here in the rear is that you get the rear passenger screen. You get the rear passenger screen here at the back, so that only activates when you activate it from the front screen for your rear passengers. Legroom here at the back, I would say feels about the same. You've definitely got the same seating position with the high knees, and your feet kind of don't really go underneath the front chairs. This cloth material here, replacing the old Alcantara fabric. It is quite a nice soft cloth fabric. The new ambient lighting, larger buttons. Now the whole piece here has one button to open the door. Speakers, you still have door pockets in the back here to with the carpet lining to put bottles and those kinds of things. Comparing it to the rear of the previous model, just remove my covers here for the dogs at the back. So here I've got the Alcantara suede at the back, also with a smaller button, so this doesn't take up the whole area. My door pockets here don't have the carpet lining, so it's a plastic, hard plastic lining, so things will rattle around in here compared to the new model that has the carpet lining in the rear. Much softer carpet lining material here. And then you've got these new crash members here, these crash bars that go in through the doors for the stabilizer, so that I don't have in my car in the previous model. So you can see here there's no bar for the additional crash stabilizer. That's, I think, a new regulation perhaps for safety. So let's go for a drive and then have a look. Oh wait, there's still some comparison here. So here you now have a new shiny silver material with a cover for the cup holders and a cover here for the center console. They've moved the 12-volt cigarette lighter here, so it used to be underneath here, and now you've got one USB-C port here which you can power a laptop as well. Apparently it's I think it's a 2-amp outlet. This has now got magnets instead of the latch here on top, so it closes now with a magnet, much easier. And this is really nice to keep dirt out of the cup holders. You do have to use the key to start over here if you don't have the Bluetooth connection with your phone, rather than putting it here. So the old model had to go here to start, and now it goes here. So that's the big difference from the previous model, where you have a slightly different silver shinery fabric here, no cup holder cover here, and this is a bit dirty now with stuff, but you don't have any charging ports there. The charging port's back here, so I actually have my charging port here. You do still have wireless phone charging here for 2 phones, so that's the same thing with the new model. And you'll see the new model here has 2 charging spaces for wireless charging for cell phones. On the menu here you have the dashboard. The dashboard here is still the same size, really tiny, really small. I have noticed that you have like what looks to be speakers. No, it's not speakers, it's like a material. It's a soft, like bubbly, almost like braille material here on the dash. At first I thought it was a speaker, but I don't think it's got openings. So here you've got a speaker. It's a new one in the cross member here in the B pillars, between the B pillars. So there's a new speaker over there. And on the dash you've got this new cloth material similar to the doors. So the door cards have this cloth material. The ambient lighting bar going all the way across, all the way around the dash. That's really nice at night especially. You can change that coloring as well with your lighting. So here you have different colors that you can choose for the ambient lighting. I don't know how well you can see it in the sunlight here, but that's quite cool actually. I really like that. Other than that, there's not too much difference. The only thing here is the screen bezel is reduced, the black surface area is reduced, so your usable screen area is increased. Let's see, you have now cooling in your seats as well as heating. So here you can cool and heat. So you've now got perforated seats in the front, similar to your Model S and X. And you'll see here perforated seats in the front for heating and cooling. You don't have heating and cooling in the back, unfortunately, and that's the big difference here. Whereas you had this hard plastic here on the dash in the previous model, or your fake plastic wood look, that's the big differences there compared to the old one. And here you can see the bezel, the black bezel is a bit thicker around the edges here, and of course only the seat heating and no cooling in the old model. Steering wheel's got a biggest change. This is the previous model with only the scroll wheels, stalks, and you'll notice the new one has no stalks. So this is a big controversy, where you have no stalks around the steering wheel, and you've got the indicators here left and right, and the 2 scroll wheels. Again, this is for your cruise. This brings up your cameras for your rear view parking. Also comes on automatically when you put the car into reverse. So putting it into reverse, the rear view cameras come up, the side repeater cameras come up, and I must say I think that the HD quality on the rear view camera is slightly better. I'll do a quick comparison for you with my car. Alright, so here's the HD camera in the previous model car. I don't notice too much difference. Here's it's a little bit pixelated around here, whereas the new model is not as pixelated. So I think the camera quality is slightly better in the new model. It's a bit of a sun glare here, so it's hard to show you, but that's the difference from the previous model without the sun glare. on the camera quality as compared to the new model. So again, showing you here, and it does look quite similar. It's definitely still pixelated around the back as well. Let's have a look and see what the information says about put it in park. Alright, so here's the full self-driving. Here's the additional vehicle information. It says here audio system base, autopilot computer, full self-driving computer, cabin heater, heat pump, garage door opener not installed, high voltage battery, lithium iron phosphate, infotainment system AMD Ryzen, low voltage battery lithium ion, modem capabilities 2G, 3G and 4G for the cellular connectivity, motor type rear is permanent magnet. So the only difference here I noticed is the audio sound system from the previous model that had premium speakers in the rear wheel drive. This one only has base audio system, so that is quite a difference. That's the only thing I can really find there. Just to compare there. So yeah, also AMD Ryzen in the old model, lithium iron phosphate, lithium ion low voltage battery, 2G, 3G and 4G cellular connection, heat pump, full self-driving computer. I have here premium speakers and no external amplifier in the old Model 3. So that's a big difference. There's premium speakers in the old Model 3 rear-wheel drive with no amplifiers, but the new Model 3 Highland only says basic. So my wife actually took the car for a drive, and she says she actually prefers to use the touchscreen for the drive selector for going forward and backwards. She says it's much more responsive than using the stalks. So that's one big improvement. If she approves it, then yeah. But she says the same thing about the indicators on the roundabout. When the wheel is turned, you have to use your right hand to press the indicator for leaving the roundabout. So that's also the same complaint that she has. So thanks for now, guys. Until next time. Cheers. I must say the back of this car is very sexy from behind. I really like those new rear tail lights. They look so good.